Legal analyst Wendy Patrick is joining me right now. For the FBI, Wendy, to go this route, what kind of evidence would they have had to presume was there to initiate a raid like this?
Well, they probably presumed that classified documents were there that the president shouldn't have taken from the White House. We know that because we're no longer on sources close to the president. We're now learning from more reputable sources overnight that this is something that has long been under investigation. Remember that they already got 15 boxes that should have been with the National Archives. But here's why your question is interesting to me. So this was unannounced. It wasn't just the living quarters and office space, but it included a safe that was more of a personal nature. So this is not a coin drawer. This is something that he would have probably kept private. So you wonder what that had to do with searching for classified documents. That probably wasn't the place where you would find them. But it also doesn't appear to have been a raid. It appears to have been the execution of a lawfully obtained search warrant. What that means is they would have had to have evidence of a crime, at least probable cause, could be found in that location, and the warrant itself was signed off by a federal judge. So it appears, at least to this point, to have been by the book. What exactly they're going to find once they go through what they've obtained, well, now that's going to be an entirely different story.
How significant was it that the president was not home at the time?
I think it is significant. I think that's a great question. This wasn't a raid in the middle of the night where they tossed the former president out of bed and handcuffed him while they did the search. He wasn't even there. They had to have known that. They came at 9 a.m., not 1 a.m. So in some respects, although it was unannounced, although the White House didn't even know about it, it really appears to have been a leak-proof investigation leading up to the search warrant. It doesn't appear to have been a raid. I know words matter, and the way we refer to this probably matters both legally and politically, given that it happened right after CPAC and, of course, shortly before the midterms and shortly before the former president himself has teased he may make an announcement for 2024.
Now, what will happen next? Will Attorney General Garland appoint a special counsel, do you think?
I don't know that's necessary here. That hasn't been something that's been in the works. And, at least as far as we know, it hasn't been a surprise that these investigations, remember, there's not just one, but this appears to have been focused on classified documents. This has been going on for some time, and it's been orchestrated by at least the FBI. And remember, Christopher Wray, he's a Trump appointee. So it doesn't appear at this point. Now, if the investigation were to take a turn based on what they found of what they took yesterday, well, then that might be an entirely different story.
The warrant was served, evidence collected. Are we expecting charges against the former president, or is it way too early to even talk about that?
I think it's way too early. It is true that there is, it could be a criminal probe if there's improper concealing or destroying presidential records. Now, we don't have any evidence of that. The former president claims he's been cooperating with the investigators that have been looking into the classified documents. But if the cooperation isn't as much as they want, this is always the next step, and it appears that that's what happened.
When it comes to classified documents, former President Trump, in his statement, comparing himself to Hillary Clinton, saying she was allowed to delete and acid wash 33,000 emails after they were subpoenaed by Congress. Absolutely nothing has happened to hold her accountable. So he's referencing Hillary Clinton's controversy. But does the former president have a point? I mean, should that even be compared to what happened at this raid at Mar-a-Lago?
It's very different. The circumstances are different. The target crime, quote unquote, if you will, is different. And my prediction is a Democrat years from now will be saying, look at this, nothing happened to former President Trump. So you can never compare these types of circumstances. This is very different. This president has claimed executive privilege over a lot of what he does and did. That's also very different from what Secretary Clinton claimed over her emails and everything else we were talking about in 2016.
Yeah, it seems like we're talking about a lot of things that have seemed to last for years, though. So,
that's right.
Wendy Patrick, thank you very much for being with us this morning.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.